Hi, I'm Shambhavi, and because Holi is just around the corner, we thought that we're going to do a live on, how to take care of your skin before and after Holi, because there's a lot of confusion how to go about it, what exactly should you do to make sure that your skin does not have damage. So, Dr. Barve is going to join us any moment, so I'm just taking her on the live. And if you have any questions until then, please drop them down below. And hi, doctor.
Hi Shambhavi, good to connect with you.
Good to connect with you too. How are you?
Good, all good.
So, I was just like introducing my viewers to you and telling them that how we're going to be talking about how to follow the right routine for Holi this time. So, to begin with the basics, I just want to understand why, like, how exactly do the colors damage our skin and our hair?
So, a lot depends on the kinds of colors we use, really. There are lots and lots of colors which are available in the market. So, typically, I try to tell my patients and also, family members and everybody try to go in for not too dark, the gory looking colors, frankly. I mean, they are fun to play with, but they can really wreak havoc on your skin. Also, there are some organic variants available nowadays, which are kind of chemical free. I mean, no color is chemical free, frankly, but at least they are
Exactly.
not the permanent stains. They are not permanent colors.
So why do you really ask your patients to go for like lighter colors? Like what is the deal with darker colors?
It's just that the darker colors tend to have more of permanent inks in them
Okay.
because, that's what makes them dark and that's what makes them stick onto the skin. So it's just it's not the most important factor, but yes, it does play a role.
So I mean, of course, like no color is chemical free. Do organic colors also damage our skin, or
They
is
can,
there
yes.
like
They can.
they do?
And frankly, any color has, a coloring pigment in it. So it's the other chemicals which make the color, which, make the fine difference. But any color, if left on the skin for a long period of time, is going to react with your skin in some way and cause chemical damage.
Okay, so doctor, we have a question, and this is that is it okay to put coconut oil on skin before playing with color?
Yes, absolutely. So there are these some precautions which everyone should take. I mean, in times of the pandemic that we are facing, there won't be any big parties or big celebrations, obviously. But even if you play with colors at home, be sure to, especially your face and your exposed areas, for sure, put either almond oil or olive oil. Even coconut oil is fine. So depends on what your skin reacts best with.
Hmm.
Almond oil
So
tends to
yeah,
be
I mean,
very.
but because coconut oil, I don't think goes well with oily skin, oily and acne prone skin,
Yes,
as far
exactly.
as I
So
know.
depends on how your skin is.
Yeah.
Almond oil tends to be safe for most skin types.
Okay.
But if you're not one of those oily, acne prone skins, then coconut oil also is fine.
Okay. So we have another question, which is can existing skin conditions get aggravated with colors?
Yes, they can. If you're prone to allergies and you're prone to eczema and conditions like that, yes.
So
Anything
what?
which
Yeah,
causes
tell me.
irritation and, tingling feeling on your skin is going to cause problems. So be sure to wash it off like right away.
Okay, so what about dry skin type? Because one of the reasons why there's so much of damage is because of the compromised skin barrier, and for dry skin people, that's always the case. So how do
Right.
dry skin type go about Holi?
So, like I said, pre-lathering your skin basically with a good amount of almond oil. Use a good SPF based lip guard. So protect your
Okay.
lips as well because those are also, very thin skin like membranes. So those need to be protected. Also, if you can, you should always oil your hair because hair also is, after all, are made up of cells and that texture is
Yeah.
going to get ruined with any kind of color. So putting on a layer is important. And especially if you have dry skin, then also you should apply sunscreen. Others also should, but especially people with dry skin should definitely apply sunscreen, even if you're going to play in the shade.
Okay, so there's another question, which is that what is the best way to remove the colors?
Right. So presuming you've done all this, then you already have formed a barrier to color reacting directly with your skin. But as soon as you say you're playing with just dry colors, then it's not that big a problem. It's actually safer to play with dry colors. But most people, end up playing with water and squirting water guns on each other. So if you get wet with a really permanent kind of dark color, then wash it off right away. Don't let it stay on the skin till it dries off and sort of layers on your skin. The way to get it off is firstly just rinse it under lukewarm or even cool water. Just let it wash off. And if it doesn't go with that, use like a cleansing milk or a very gentle body wash. Don't rub too much. Don't rub and scrub and try to.
Yeah. So basically, of course, the color does not go at one go. It takes like a good 1 week for the color to really go.
Yes.
So what is the post-Holi body care routine that we should ideally follow so that we don't over scrub our skin?
Correct. So like you said, perfectly put that the color doesn't go for a week. So that's the worst thing to happen. The way to prevent it is actually don't let these permanent staining colors sit on your skin for a long time. That's what stains your epidermis and just stays there. Whatever you do, you cannot get it off for a week. So that is one. Second is every day when you have a bath, before bath, try and oil your skin again. Try and gently kind of wipe off the color. Also have a bath with a very hypoallergenic, non-perfumed kind of cleansing milk or any kind of gentle body wash. None of the abrasive body scrubs and things like that. Don't do that. In fact, you can even skip the loofah. Don't use the loofah.
Okay.
So the general tendency is, let's get the color out. Let's scrub our skin, with a agent. So don't do that. That's going to damage your skin. And let it take its time. If it doesn't go in one wash, it's fine. After your bath, make sure to moisturize well. So moisturize well. Moisturizing is also very important. Of course, depending on your skin type, you'll have to use a moisturizer which suits your skin, which your doctor may have recommended.
But doctor, when you say that we should apply a moisturizer right after washing our skin, would that not lead the color to stick more to our skin? Because then we're like adding we're adding this really moisturizing layer. I mean, that's a question that I have.
That's a good question. That's a good question. But remember that whatever staining has to be done has already happened. It's not like you're locking it in or you're going to not let it come out because of the layer of moisturizer. The moisturizer is to maintain your skin barrier and your skin condition in spite of the color being there.
Okay. So what do we do with our nails? Because like a lot of time our nails also get stained.
So a quick and very simple way to protect your nails is please apply clear paint before you go play Holi.
That's it. That's all we can do.
Yes. That's the best thing. Cuticles still get a little stained with permanent colors, but at least your nail bed, which has to grow out, that won't become stained and look, like you've played Holi over the last 3 months.
Okay. So, doctor, do you have any tips for how to make sure that the color does not stay on your scalp? Because we can't really even see our scalp. And how do we make sure that the color has gone away?
So scalp is a little tricky to deal with, especially if you're coloring your hair. Your scalp tends to be a little sensitive. Also, if you're undergoing any kind of hair treatments, say, micro needling or rolling, any kind of treatments you've undergone, then yes, your scalp is going to be pretty sensitive and any color can add to the irritability of your scalp.
Okay.
So again, the most important thing is to protect it. See, prevention is better than cure. I think we've known that from generations. So again, put a layer on your scalp, put a oil layer, put some kind of a barrier which doesn't let, especially irritated scalp. So if you have dandruff, if you have sensitive scalp, make sure you have put oil on your scalp before you go to play. Another reason to avoid playing too much with watercolors, wet
Why
holi.
watercolors? I mean, isn't that way more? I mean, not isn't that less harsher as compared to like
No, so
those
the
hard colors?
water trickles in and will kind of sit on your scalp and just stay there. The dry holi which we play tends to fall on the hair, and you can
Yeah.
easily wash it off or just dust it off. Once the permanent color goes on your scalp, it trickles down, so it goes through the roots of your hair and comes out, so it's going to affect more of the scalp than a dry color would.
So, is there like a different hair care routine for those who have colored hair?
Not really, not too different a routine. It's just I would say in the last week before you plan to play holi, or just color your hair in general, avoid any kind of hair treatments. Like, don't go for rolling or micro needling or PRP injections in the hair, in the
Okay.
scalp. So avoid any kind of treatments which leaves a sensitive scalp. That would be important. Also,
Okay.
if you plan to have a holy function and you want to color your hair, do it a week in advance. Don't wait till the last minute to color your hair, because then your hair has gone through a lot within the last 2-3 days, and again you color it, and it's just too much chemical bombarding on your
Hmm.
follicles. So that would be
Okay.
important.
So, doctor, I mean, like, of course, like one of the most sensitive skin types is also acne-prone skin. So, how do acne-prone skin, like, I mean, because for those who have cystic acne, how do they make sure that Holi is not like wreaking havoc on their skin? Is there anything in particular for them?
Yeah, that's tough. Frankly, acne prone and cystic acne, what you're talking about,
Yeah,
we have to be very, very careful. Because,
yeah,
like you rightly said, you can't even over oil that skin.
exactly.
So you have to be really careful. Once Holi, there's not much they can do to really prevent the injury which can happen from colors.
Hmm.
They just have to be kind of conservative in playing with the colors. And
Okay.
after that, after Holi, if really there is staining and there is obvious damage to the skin, then they need to come in and show us. Show your doctor, talk to somebody, because you may need some kind of a mild cleanup, mild medifacial, some kind of a treatment to just exfoliate that outer layer without damaging it.
Okay. So,
Another thing,
hmm.
yeah, another thing which may help at times is, especially if sensitive skin, if you're used to using some kind of masks at home
Hmm.
which your doctor has recommended, then it may be a good idea to try that mask on after 3 to 4 days of the function after Holi.
Okay.
Not
So,
right
after
away, but a bit later.
So after Holi, should we like say like anybody should go for like a cleanup or like a very advanced facial of sorts, like a hydrating facial or something? Can people go for that post Holi?
Not right away. I would suggest wait for 4 to 5 days. If
Okay.
you have one of those, like nodular acne, cystic acne, uh, very, very sensitive skin which really breaks out into rashes right away, then if that's happening, then consult your doctor before doing anything. But after 5 days, you're okay.
But then why a 5 day gap?
Because you just want the skin to settle down on its own before doing too much.
Okay, so we shouldn't even like go for laser or anything post Holi.
Right away, no, you shouldn't.
Like at least give it like a week's gap.
Yeah, 4 to 5 days, I would say, is safe, because you don't want
Okay.
to do too much to a skin which has already been irritated, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are there any skincare tips for children? Like, will they follow the same set of skin steps? Because I mean, isn't their skin slightly different from what
it
adults have?
is. So you'll need to, basically, for children, the chemicals or the products which you use are much milder.
Hmm.
There are, I mean, I won't name any brands here, but there are plenty of products which are baby safe, even oil, in for that matter, which tends to be, non-aromatic. It tends to be much milder and good for baby skin. There are plenty of sunscreens also available, which are kind of a gel finish more than the matte
Okay.
sunblocks which we use. So the gel finish sunscreens are good for kids, and it's a good habit actually for children, especially nowadays most kids are at home, but in general it's good to make a habit for children to, when they are visiting the beach or when they are going out anywhere, even when they are going for Holi, to just put a little sunscreen. It's a good habit to have just to maintain your skin long term.
So, I mean, I know that we're digressing a bit from the topic, but I just want to know that, like, what is the earliest age from where, like the kid should start using a sunscreen?
uh, Very small, under 5 years old, it's only when they are going directly in sun, like they are spending the day at the beach or a day at the park. Yes, you should use
I mean, if
sunscreen.
there's like long exposure of
Yes, yeah.
the sun.
Yes, because kids really don't keep hats on, so the face invariably
Yeah,
gets exposed. You can make them wear long sleeves and long pants to avoid direct exposure of the hands and the legs. But face and neck is something which, yes, it can also get quickly burnt if a child is very
yeah,
sensitive. Yeah.
yeah. So, like, as young as 5 year
Yes,
old
absolutely.
kids.
Absolutely.
Okay. And any holy skincare tips for people, like for old people, if they are playing, if of course they won't like usually won't play with like wet colors, but like all those gulal and stuff, you of course you apply it for the tradition. So anything for them?
Correct. So, older people, the skin tends to be more fragile for sure. I wouldn't really
Yeah.
recommend any too much of any chemicals. Again, almond oil is a good thing. Most people, it suits most people. It doesn't irritate skin. Like you said, coconut oil at times can cause a little bit of red
Yeah, it's an
spots to come
occlusive.
in.
So
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So almond oil is good. Even olive oil is good for skin. Olive oil tends to be a little stickier than almond oil, but it's good for elderly skin. That I would definitely recommend for most elderly people, and they don't even have too much problems with acne as such, so they can
yeah,
definitely use it.
yeah. So say for example diabetic people, I mean I've heard that they can't get like pedicures and all done for diabetic people.
uh, it's not like they can't, but they need to be very very careful.
Yeah, so I mean, I believe that they can't really go harsh with their skin if I'm not
Yes,
wrong. So, what do, if they are playing holy, how do they go about it?
you know unfortunately we are coming back to the same thing:
You're
prevention,
saying,
prevention,
yes,
prevention. Yeah,
skin.
because
Yeah,
even for elderly people, the skin is actually more fragile than a baby's skin. It has wrinkles, and it has uneven dermis in parts because of aging process. So you need to be really careful with that. You cannot scrub, rub, you can't do anything. Medifacials, some of them are safe for older people. So uh, if somebody gets a little irritated skin, and there are color stains on it, I would recommend a medifacial with a basic
what
kind
is
of.
a medifacial?
So medifacial is basically different from a salon facial.
Okay.
Salon facials tend to use a little bit of bleach and a little more stronger chemicals, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So medifacial is more subtle. It
Okay,
uses radio frequency. It uses a probe which oxygenates the skin, and it
okay,
also uses different kinds of serums based on your body type, your skin type. So it can be tailored. It can be an anti-aging serum. It can be just under eye treatment serum. It can be just a serum for giving glow to the skin. So it depends. Depends on your age, depends on your skin type, and they are customized. So a lot of doctors offer it.
so like
And
it's more calming in nature
yes,
as compared to what is
definitely,
offered at a salon.
definitely.
So it's something that like everyone should go for if they want to get like a facial post
Yeah,
holy.
and it's just like a regular upkeep of the skin. You should
Okay.
do it every 6 to 8 weeks, just one treatment, and that kind of just maintains your skin balance.
But doctor, tell me something that doesn't like, because our skin is so sensitive. So I mean when like there's like facial happening, there's like a lot of hand strokes, there's a lot of pull, tugging and all. So Are facials really good for our skin?
So that depends. I'm talking about medifacials, not salon facials.
So the medifacials don't do all of that tugging and
Medifacials,
like
there is
pulling.
nobody touches your face. It's all machines.
Okay, it's all the machine. Okay,
Yeah.
you talked about radio frequency and all.
So
Is that
there's a
safe after Holi?
That's what I
Doing
said.
the
You have to
whole.
wait for about 5 days. I
Okay,
wouldn't
okay,
recommend the radio frequency part of it right away. But
yeah,
yes, if you have a stain, if you have irritated dry skin in an area, then the
yeah.
serums and the oxygenation part of the treatment will help you. So
Okay,
that's what we do. We customize the treatment based on these are the different modalities available with a medifacial, but we customize it based on what your skin requires.
okay. So we've talked enough about prevention. Say like, I mean, someone has really scratched it off. Someone has really scrubbed their skin just to get rid of the color, and it's not happening. And the next thing they know that it's burning and itching. So what should they do immediately to calm their skin down?
So at home, I wouldn't recommend any home remedies as such. At home,
Yeah,
you should uh, just try ice packs. If you've really scrubbed it that bad and your skin is itching and irritable, you should take an anti-allergic medication and probably apply an ice pack and call your doctor. Honestly,
so, but nothing like using like shea butter or cocoa butter or
so
coconut
that's
oil or
part of
aloe
the
vera gel.
moisturizer. Yeah, that will be part of the moisturizing. Moisturizing is good. Shea butter I wouldn't recommend for everybody because uh, if somebody has really oily skin, you
Yeah,
may sometimes get see what happens with oily skin, and if you've scrubbed it, is there may be some small breaks in the skin.
yeah, yeah.
And if you scrub it with something as thick as shea butter or cocoa butter, then it can you have a possibility that it can form those little red, you know,
Little red bumps, right? Or
bumps
like
and
indents.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to scare anybody, but yeah, that can happen because
Yeah,
it's irritated skin, right? Your barrier,
yeah,
the natural skin barrier is lost.
yeah.
So at home, if your skin is feeling itchy and abraded, that like it's lost a layer, then
Mm.
just ice pack and some mild moisturizer is fine. Anything as thick as cocoa butter or shea butter, I wouldn't recommend without taking a look.
Okay, so anything which is very like hydrating, not
Yes,
moisturizing, but
hydrated.
hydrating on the other hand
Hydrated,
would
yes.
be
You can use anything which is maybe aloe vera based, but non-perfume. No perfumes should be.
non-perfumed.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Thank you so much, doctor. I think we've touched upon all the major points that we could. Thank you so much for an informative session.
Thank you
It
so
was
much. I'm
great
glad
having you with
glad
us.
it was of help.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
so much. Bye.